Hey everybody, welcome back to
Hi guys.
Turtle and the Tiger vlog number 13. Right?
Right.
We're going to talk about how we departed from Big Bend National Park on our final day, which was a Monday. And we had decided to go to
Davis Mountain State Park,
in Fort Davis, Texas.
which was about 200 miles away.
200-mile trip. Pretty cool though.
Gorgeous trip. I mean, leaving Big Bend. Sorry, but those were the best views that I had of Big Bend. I mean, they were gorgeous views. We just didn't get out to see them.
Right.
So
Because we didn't want to drive every year. If you haven't caught on already, someone here has a little bit of an attitude about Big Bend National Park. And if you haven't seen vlog number 12, you should go back and review vlog number 12 because you can see why someone has a possible attitude about Big Bend National Park. I, however, are taking a more neutral stance and still not putting it in the toilet.
Mr. Congeniality.
Well, I mean, it was nice, but that's okay. You deserve your right to say and have an opinion. I'm not stomping on it. I'm just saying that we don't both share that.
True.
But it was a great drive. Pretty much.
Yeah, I think the whole drive was awesome.
Yeah. Little anxiety for me though. I was having a bad day. Just I don't know what it was. I still loved the drive. I mean, it was just dickered in the head, I think, at times. But we went from Big Bend National Park up through Alpine. Right? You hit Alpine first, and then you go into Fort Davis after that, and you actually go through Fort Davis a little bit. And it's basically like 3 miles out of town.
I think about that, yeah. Going up, yeah.
Davis Mountain State Park. And I think we had only planned on staying there X number of days. I don't think we planned on staying there for more than 3 or 4 days at first.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And we had a reservation.
Yes, we did have a... Did I have a reservation?
I think we did. Because this is the only one we didn't have a reservation
Right,
where we are.
Yeah, I had a reservation at least for one night, and we got in there.
Yep.
We booked it for, what, a total of 6?
Total of 6 nights. 6 days.
Yep.
6 days or 5 days and 6 nights. I always get that confused.
I know you do.
I
Just go with
I
how
don't
many
know.
nights. It doesn't matter how many days.
I don't know. And that's the other thing
Because you're paying for nights.
when we're doing this, well, at least for me, I can't speak for my wife, but I mean, I couldn't tell you what day today is. I really don't know well, I do know what today is because
It's
yesterday
Tuesday.
was a holiday.
Right.
But other than that, you ask me any other day of the week, I couldn't tell you if it was Sunday or Thursday.
Kind of lose track of it.
You really lose track of time. The really cool thing about Davis Mountain State Park for you and for me, I think both, was there were a couple of things. One of you, off the top of your head, what was
mine was the hiking.
Yep.
Mine was the interpretive centers
Yep.
that they had.
Beautiful
it was
place.
Right. I mean, the animals. Oh, and yes. I mean, I took a couple programs. One on the CCC, learned a lot more about the CCC. I did a panther program. And I also did a walk with some homeless dogs that they were trying to
socialize and
right with people and things like that.
Right.
So those are 3 great programs.
right.
And we got we found this nice,
Can we talk about that? I think we can.
well, okay, we weren't really supposed to do it.
Oh well, so here's the deal. Though they had what's called a prescribed burn, like a week or 2 before.
Right, just a week.
So 90% of the park was all charred, and I didn't think it smelled that bad. They said,
didn't either.
it might smell when you get in there. You might hear a truck drive by. They're doing some construction at the state park route. So because everything was burned off, you could see into areas you probably wouldn't be able to see into. And where we were parked
Was at the end of this road.
Let's wait till this guy goes by. So where we were parked at the end of this one area in the park, we had a parking spot down towards the end of this loop. Not many people walked down there, and there wasn't any trails on the map. But somehow we saw this big cistern was there since the CCC had built,
Right.
and someone had put some sort of valve in it so that it always stayed full of water. And I don't know what the reason was, but we just decided maybe because we did see a lot of birds drinking from it, and you could see the trails, all these little animal trails coming through the chart that just sort of all came together into this tank. So we had 2 wildlife cameras with us that we brought with us from home, and we said, you know what, let's try setting them up. And we set them up. So why don't you take a look at some of the clips that we sewed together of what happens at the cistern at night and sometimes during the day. So there you have it. Pretty active.
Yeah, very active. I mean, every night I could get up and leave the rig, and I'd either see javelina out there, the gray fox out there, lots of rabbits.
Western bluebirds.
Right, but I'm just saying at night,
At night,
at
yeah.
dark,
At night, yep.
you could see all of
Deer.
this. Oh, right, deer,
Yeah,
everything.
everything.
Which was just, I mean, kind of this whole adventure to me is I like the wildlife.
She loves the wildlife, and she's been known to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, take her flashlight out, and
Right,
look in the
just to
bushes.
see what's out there.
remember the first night? Javelinas, to me, I call them little baby pigs. They're not of the pig family at all. They're more, what do they call it, a collared peccary.
Yeah, collared peccary. But that first night, we weren't even in the rig. We were
No.
sitting out there watching the stars, and you could hear something rooting
Rustling
in
in
the
the
back
thing.
because we had a wash
Right behind us.
that went through behind us. And oh yeah, there must have been a herd of 12
Do we have
of
to
them.
tell these guys what a wash is? As I don't know if I knew what a wash was.
I guess so.
So a wash is when, out here, when it rains, water doesn't really soak in the ground, so you get these little flash floods, and they create these temporary brooks, and when the water is gone, it's basically called a wash.
Right. I mean, I was talking to one of the rangers about it, and he was telling me that during their rainy season, even if they get a half an inch of water, just a half an inch of rain, that these washes,
About 3 or 4 feet.
at least, that it's not something to be messed with.
There's 2 areas in the park when you drive in, when you're going to your campsite, where you go down, they call it a dip. And on the dips, they have a gauge there on the side from 0 to 6 feet, so that when they are full of water, you know exactly how deep they are before you go trotting right through
Right.
them. So, yeah, that particular night, there must have been 5 or 6 these javelinas. There's baby pigs in the back. Javelinas? Javelinas.
Javelina.
Yeah, because it's not jalapenos.
Exactly.
So we got some nice footage of them, and then I went out in the morning with my camera and I took a couple of pictures of them. And they also had 2, what I liked is they had 2 bird blinds set up. where it's basically they put a water feature in and they put a few feeders, and of course it's a desert environment, so you put water out and everything and anybody's going to come to it.
Yeah.
So you could be taking pictures at 8 o'clock in the morning, and here comes one of these javelina in there to eat some seed or drink some water, or a fox could come in, or any kind of bird. But lots of cool birds, lots of neat birds. Love the birding there. The birding was I think overall.
I think that was probably the most birding, different birds that we've been able to see.
In one place.
Yes.
We also did, I'm just going to mention real quick, we went to the McDonald Observatory. We were going to go one night and it clouded over. It wasn't really good weather for us at night to go and do a star party there, but we did go during the day to visit. It was also Yvette's first time driving the rig in the mountain without a trailer. She had an interesting moment with that.
Yes.
So we didn't do much. We went into town a couple of times. We went into the town to do laundry.
You're right. Great little laundromat found.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Got all the 3 loads of laundry done in less than an hour.
Yeah,
Perfect.
found a grocery store. Finally got some groceries. We got them on the way in, technically.
And we went back once before.
And once before.
Or after.
Yeah, a day or two before we left.
Yep.
Then
you have to talk about the Chihauhaun Desert.
We went to the Chihauhaun Desert Institute and Botanical Gardens just outside of town. It was about a 10-minute drive outside of Fort Davis. Beautiful place. They have a greenhouse there with about 1,300 cactus species that all can be found in the Chihauhaun Desert.
A lot.
And then you walk through the Botanical Garden, and then every plant other than a cactus, and they had cactus too, but outside, whether it be
the trees, the bushes, everything was labeled, so things that we can be learning.
Pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
They also had a bird blind, and so everything in the botanical garden was inside an 8-foot fence, because they didn't want animals coming in or out, which is a problem down there, because when you look outside the fence, it doesn't look anything like the botanical gardens.
Yeah.
But they also had a bird blind set up there with a really cool water feature in it. Like we said before, you put water in a desert, and birds just to come a-running along with everything else. And I got a nice picture of a cactus wren. That was pretty cool. We had heard this bird in Big Bend and couldn't see it. Was, for me anyway, pretty elusive, and I finally got a good picture of him there.
Yeah, you got a lot of good pictures.
Yeah, we'll put a few of those up as we're talking here, and you can take a look at them. So we did the Botanical Institute, or the Chihauhaun Institute. We did the McDonald Observatory. We didn't go to Fort Davis because they actually had, in Fort Davis historical site, which is just outside of town, between the town and the campground, they were having a prescribed burn on the day that we thought maybe we would go.
Right.
And it was kind of like, it's probably not a cool day to do it, but that's neat. I think, though, that you should talk about because you went to the CC program and I did not. You should talk about the CC trail and the day that we went for a walk up there with 2 bottles of water, not the 1 bottle of water.
Exactly. We got a little smart. So, hiking up the mountain, what was that, 5,000-6,000 foot elevation?
Yeah.
You did a good job.
What?
Hiking up.
I did. I swear to God, I thought I was going to we were talking after about, so I'm not probably in the best of shape, but
we're getting there.
We're getting there.
So the hike up, I don't know, what was it, an hour, 2 hours?
Why is that red light blinking on? I hope that doesn't mean it's out. So tell us about the CC.
CC hike up to the mountain.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go up there because we had done the hike earlier in the week, but we didn't go to all the little cool spots that I learned about.
Right.
So when the CCC was in there back in 1933, 34,
right,
they built this area with what they call the King's Table. It's this stone table that's probably 12 feet long.
Right, at least.
It's amazing. They've got the walls they built, the stairs they built,
right.
And then there was this one building that was called the Loo with a View. Who doesn't want a view when you're,
using the loo?
So that was a really cool building to go see.
And then there's just another observation building that was just gorgeous.
I mean, we've got lots of pictures.
Yeah.
And this We didn't actually. Well, yeah, we got a lot of pictures of a lot of things that they built at the CCC. The CCC built. This was actually the first state park that the CCC entered to do things in Texas.
Their first project.
Very first project.
First project in Texas or first project in the United States?
Well, in Texas.
Right. Okay.
And there were over 100, I think 100 to 200 guys between the ages of 18 and 25 that were there for...
However long it took them to build the park.
Right. I mean...
At least, well, I don't know if I'm sure they finished it before World War II, because that's when the CCC pretty much got dissolved, but...
So the first year that these guys were there, they all slept in tents because they didn't build any kind of housing for these guys. I mean, it's just, the whole CCC is a pretty amazing program. And the things that they did, it's, yeah. Anybody that needs information on it, you should definitely look it up.
Okay, sorry about that. SD card was filled. We're all better now, though.
Yes, we are.
So we're talking about the whole CCC trail and all the buildings. You talked about the King's Table, the Lou with a View, the observation table.
So I guess I should also say that the CCC originally went in there when they were doing the state park because they were doing the Indian Lodge. Right. They were looking to bring people into this area of Texas to help with, you know, the economy and things like that. And it's cooler there than it is in a lot of places in Texas because they're in the mountains.
Yeah, ironically, one of the people I talked to in town, when, you know, we're always looking at, you know, different areas of the country that if we ever do settle down, maybe it won't be in Massachusetts, maybe it'll be somewhere else. And here we are in Texas, and I'm thinking, you know, temperatures could be 100 plus during the summer, but the guy in town says it never did get over 100 in Texas. It just...
Well, in this area, the Davis
Fort
Mountains.
Davis area and the Davis Mountain State Park area, so...
So the Indian Lodge, when we were there, was actually under renovation, so we didn't really get any pictures. We couldn't tour it or do anything there.
Beautiful, though.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous... And that's originally what they came in to build, besides all the trails and all the outbuildings and things like that, was to entice people from the other areas in Texas to come hang out there during the summer.
So then we did the Indian, you know, we get to see the Indian Lodge. There was lots of trails around this thing, and you know, you could go on an easy trail or you could go on a really hard trail. And there were a couple of times there I really thought that I was happy that my will was done, because
Me too.
I thought that my heart was going to literally come through my mouth. And
Montezuma's Quail
should have been
Trail.
Montezuma's Revenge. That was instead of the trail. Not that I had that problem, but man, it was hard. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, there was a year there that I hiked sometimes 12 and 13, 14 miles a day, but I was struggling for a mile up some of these goat paths.
But it's elevation.
Yeah, it's elevation.
I mean, we were at 6,000 feet, and we didn't hike all the trails there.
No.
There were so many trails in this one park that I could spend a month there probably.
One day we decided we'd go across the street from the park, which is still the park. But the place across the street is dedicated more to horse owners. So if you wanted to bring your horse in and camp, you had miles of trails that you could ride your horse on,
Up the mountains,
and they were
it's just
gorgeous. And we just one day we went over there, took our binoculars, and sure enough,
found another herd of
audads
up on the mountains.
This one she's glassing the mountain with her binoculars, and I'll tell you, if you were with a naked eye, if you were looking right at this spot, you never would have saw them.
Couldn't see them.
Yeah, and ended up seeing about a dozen or so.
And then some deer on our way out.
Deer on our way out, some different birds and things, lots of tracks, lots of different animal sign. Very cool. But just that part of the park too was hardly ever used.
Yeah.
We walked down this one wash, and you know, there was this cool little trail, and it was the trail. But it was hardly, you couldn't tell that it was really used that much. And I'm almost certain that one mountain that we looked at one day where I said I found a bench, I bet you there was a trail up there too.
Probably.
And that was another 6,500 foot area too. So very cool on that. We had the Indian Lodge, the CCC. We met some nice people there, I have to say. Met some nice neighbors. Good campers there.
I Everybody was pretty good.
I have to say one thing though, and I won't get into detail too much about it, but I think it's kind of funny, and I'm a funny guy, so I should say it. So, at all these state park campgrounds, most of them have shower facilities, and what they do is they set up a building and they have a men's room and a ladies' room, like this. And then in the men's room and the ladies' room, of course, they're separate. They have a shower area. Sometimes, though, in the park, they have a men's room and a ladies' room with a shower area, and then they have a disabled men's room and a ladies' room with a handicap. So we decide on the day before we were going to leave, we're going to take a shower, and it's sort of a planned out thing here. You just don't take a shower.
Well, right, because you're walking out into the cooler air. You
Right.
know, I want to take a shower in the heat of the day when I walk
Right.
out. You know, we got to
Right.
hang our towels, let them dry, things like that.
So Yvette, she takes off and she's heading to the showers, and I'm still doing something. I don't remember what I was doing, but I got delayed. And then I grabbed my stuff and I headed up to the bathrooms. And I'm kind of like, everything's going in a flurry, and I thought, well, I got to get it done, and I'm not paying much attention because I had to shave too. I wanted to shave and take a shower. So I go in the men's room, I walk up to the sink, I put my box in the other sink, and I pull out my razor and lather up. Well, I had to go to the bathroom all of a sudden really bad. So I just finished. I didn't rinse off my face because I'm going to get in the shower. So I put all my stuff in the shower area, and I go in the bathroom. Wait, that's not right. I went to the bathroom first, and then I shaved, and then I still had to go to the bathroom again, so I went back into the stall to do my business.
And
I'm sitting there, and all my stuff is sprawled out. Nobody's come into the bathroom yet, so I'm sitting there in the toilet, and I'm looking at the stall door, and it says something about don't put sanitary napkins in the toilet. And I'm thinking to myself, why on earth would you hang this sign in the oh, crap. I wasn't in the men's room. I was in the ladies' room the whole time. I had shaved. I was almost ready to take a shower.
oh, nice. That would have been kind of funny.
Yeah, so I scrambled and got all my stuff. I don't know what it is. I just, whether I'm coming around the corner and all I see is the MEN and women.
Yep.
So I'm like, there's the men's room. You go in there and do your thing. But nobody walked in. Oh, my God. So that was kind of funny. That's the second time it's happened. I haven't. Actually, that happened one other time at a Walmart.
Right.
At a Walmart, I walked, and I was in there like, where are all the urinals? Oh!
God, you need to look up more when you're walking into a
Well,
bathroom.
I'm just a progressive guy.
Oh,
there's no
We can tell you
gender.
came from Massachusetts.
Oh, nice. Anything else you want to say about the state park?
No, actually, we're going to... What was that?
I'm not sure. Oh, it was the pretzel bucket.
Oh,
Expanded.
it's empty. No, I just want to say that we're going to do a new rating system. Every time we leave somewhere, we're going to do a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yep.
And I think that this state park for me is a double thumbs up.
Well, you can't do two.
I can do whatever I want.
All right, well, whatever. Thumbs up then. We both agree.
Yeah,
it's a great
it's a
state
great-
park. We'll probably go back.
I would definitely.
Yeah.
It was nice. There
Yeah.
was just so much to do there.
Yep. All right, so that wraps it up for vlog number 13 for Davis Mountain State Park. Stay tuned next week or next 5 minutes, for vlog number 14, our departure from Davis Mountain State Park to
Alamogordo, to our
Mexico.
first New Mexican state park.
Yeah, that should be interesting, so stay tuned.
They got a lot to live up to.
Yeah, they do. They do. Hopefully they will. See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.